Hey guys, it's Monday. We will take a look at the week ahead, looking at the calendar, what our ideas might be for the week ahead. We're going to take a look, first of all, once we've looked at the calendar, that is, at a short opportunity that played out during London, and also move on to the daily bias and the weekly forecast. So let's jump right into it. I'm Jimmy Trades. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here, guys, and happy Monday. Huge week of news this week, which is great. This is what we need. We like to see our volatility. We've got a good one here Friday. We have our opportunity for OSOC, one shot, one kill, where we use our evals and look for that huge move to come out of non-farm payroll and pass our evals in one trade. Remember to use code Jimmy for Apex, 90% off right now, guys. Great opportunity there. 90% off with code Jimmy, and also 35% off across the board with Tradeify using code Jimmy Trades. All right. So we've got news every day this week, except for today. Sorry, no news Monday. So we'll be trading cautiously today. Because the real volatility is only going to come in around that 9:30 open. So we'll be keeping an eye on things. Huge week of news, no news Monday. Some people like to sit on their hands. Completely up to you. Alrighty, let's get rid of that. Let's move over, or move down, I should say, and have a look at this opportunity that played out during the London session today. Now, I didn't get into this position. I missed it by a couple of minutes, but it's great to see our strategy play out. And what we had here was we had a 15-minute bearish FEG that price ran up into. Did we have SMT anywhere? Because I do like to see SMT, but it doesn't look like we did. So that's probably the only part that didn't meet my rules, was the SMT. However, it was a nice play all the same. Coming off these all-time highs here, and we had a 15-minute inversion here. So that's insight that we might start to see price move lower. Off of that, we had this 15-minute bearish FEG. Now price came up into that level and we closed back through, creating this inversion here. And then what I do from there is I mark out my standard deviations from the body high to the body low, and that gives us our target area. That target area just happened to line up with this 15-minute bullish FEG. So that's an area where we can look for price to stall potentially, or could also possibly reverse. So if you were to take this position, we had our Asia lows down there that we were looking for price to draw to. You could have got out at the negative 2 standard deviation here for a 2.8 trade, or at the 2.53 negative 3, depending on what you want to do. If you had multiple contracts on, you could have rode this out, and if you were able to hold, even if you did trail your stop to this high, you still wouldn't have got stopped out. And eventually we got down to that Asia low, and that would have been an epic 11R trade. So what do we have? All the pieces of the puzzle were, it was in a macro time, which is 10 minutes before the hour and 10 minutes after the hour. We had a 15-minute bearish FEG. Price came up into that level. We created a 1-minute inversion at the 15-minute FEG. And then at that point in time, you could enter the trade, and you can manage the risk however you like from that point on, targeting a minimum of 2R, which is ideal. So that was the London trade. Let me know in the comments if you managed to get hold of a piece of that. If the ideas and concepts here are helpful to you, let me know in the comments, because we do provide all this value for free. So let's jump over to the weekly chart now that we've gone through that London trade. And let's see what the weekly has. So we've got quite a big gap to open up the week. Gaps like to be filled. I'm anticipating price will at least try and fill this gap. All right. It's really hard. We have nothing to the left of the chart here. There's nothing here for us to work with because we are at those all-time highs. So I would anticipate price to fill the gap. If we do run lower, then we have, this opposing candle to look for price to support before we continue higher. We also have this lovely one here, which is coming out of this bullish FEG as well. So that's what I'm looking at. If price is to move lower, let's have a look at the 4-hour. Again, looking at this gap, we've got these opposing candles here. I'd like to see if price does come down, much the same as what we're talking about there on the daily. We find support here before price moves higher, or we invalidate this level and we start to move a little bit lower. It's going to be much the same here for ES, looking for that gap fill. And then do we find support on these opposing candles? Let's have a look on the daily here. So we are getting that move lower, and we'll just have to wait and see what happens here. I think using the 4-hour or even the hourly is probably your best bet at the moment, because we do have a change in state of delivery if you're looking at the hourly. And if we were to run our standard deviations from the body high to the body low, then we'll see that price has a target area of this -2 to 2.5, which also aligns with this hourly gap. So we could see price sweep that out, which I actually don't mind, before we continue to move higher. So let's keep an eye on those sort of ideas, or just let today play out. Let's see how today plays out, and we can form some better narrative and logic moving forward for the rest of the week. Okay, let's move over to oil. Yeah, again, still not that interested in oil. We're in this range. We cannot get out of this range. And until we do, personally, I'm not interested in trading oil. I really want to see either side of the range tested before looking to participate. We do have, this engineering liquidity down here with these equal lows. Are we possibly heading in that direction? It probably is a little bit more likely, especially with, we've got these changes in state of delivery that have been respected. So what we want to see here is these opposing candles. We don't want to see a close above this 50% level, because then we're starting to invalidate this move lower. If we are going to move lower, we can again run our projections. And here we would look for a target level of around, this $63 mark around there. Alrighty, let's push back out to the daily. And we can see, actually, let's have a quick look at the weekly. Yeah, obviously you can just see that we're in that consolidation there at the moment. Moving out to gold on the weekly. Now we have got some insight to order flow here, potentially. All right. We've got this candle closure back inside the range from last week. So bearish week last week, closing back inside the range. That is insight to order flow, and we could see price move lower from here. So I'll be looking for price to respect the 50% level of this previous week's wick. And then that's if price does move higher. Obviously, we've already swept out previous week or the previous 2 weeks lows. So there is opportunity for price to want to move higher there. If we do we respect this 50% level and move lower, or do we invalidate that and continue to move higher? On the daily, we can see that we do have a change in state of delivery on the daily with a closure through and displacement. With this low resistance liquidity, I'm a little bit more inclined to be bearish for gold at the moment. Dixie finding some legs out of this bullish FEG on the weekly. And we have a draw of this weekly high here from a couple of weeks back. On the daily, we are starting to see a reversal here. We have a daily inversion here. And I think if we do see a close above this, not that tool, we do see a close above this level here, then we'll likely see higher prices. We do have this low resistance liquidity through here as well. So inversely correlated, that means we might see 6E moving lower. We are pushing lower here at the moment. On the weekly, previous week low is the low hanging fruit. That's where I'll be looking for price to want to reach for first before potentially sweeping out this low here. Now, we have swept Friday's high and low, but it is quite a decisive move lower here at the moment. On the 4 hour, we can see we've got this change in state of delivery through here. We are quite an aggressive move lower at the moment. Now we might find some support here on these opposing candles. And we've also got this bullish FEG. So let's look to see if that holds or if we continue to displace lower. 6B will likely be a bit of a similar story. Having a look here on the daily. We've got this low down here. On the weekly, we can see, look, this insight to order flow. Look how this candle closed back inside the range out of this weekly bearish FEG. We can anticipate expansion from here to continue lower. And this level here will be my first sort of idea of where price might want to reach to. We've obviously got a couple of daily lows here to sweep out as well. Let's jump over to some crypto. Bitcoin on the daily. Well, we got that move lower. We've been looking at that. I've been wanting to see that into this bullish gap, and we finally got it. So, which is great to see. And now we just wait and see if price has the legs to get up to our target zone here. Now that we've done or had this sweep, what we can do is if we run our projections, not that one, if we run our projections from the body low to the body high, we can see that target area overlapping with that $125 level. We just need to see a daily close above this high here, and we're definitely looking to run to this target area. Ethereum got some legs today. It's moved out of this bullish FEG just perfectly, and we look at the expansion from Sunday's candle, just lovely, taking out the high. So I'm looking at this level as our next target. If we push out, we can see that it's somewhat relative equal highs through here. And I do think that that 4,000 level is going to be hit this week. And we can see that using the approach that I take towards daily bias, you know, we've continued to hit those targets week after week. So please share the channel far and wide, guys, because there's plenty of traders out there that should be seeing this channel and getting immense value from it. If you find that you get immense value from it, please leave a comment. Let us know how you feel about the channel, the content we provide, and we'll continue to bring you our daily bias each and every day, and new content will always be on the way. There's a short that I dropped today from Friday's trade that we took live in Trade Foundry. Go and check it out. There's some great value in that little short, couple of minutes of your time, and you might see a strategy in there that resonates with you. Okay, guys, take care. Have a fantastic Monday. We'll catch you over in Trade Foundry. Bye for now.